This is a digital installation video from LCE Graphics. And this is for the Duplo 5000 collator, 5000 booklet maker, and 5000 trimmer. On any machines that we sell, all of your connections come indicated where they connect. So like for example, this wire you see here, it'll have a tag on it with a letter, and then it'll have that letter written on the frame where the plug goes. So there's no mistakes about where any of the plugs go connected. And that's our entire system from one end to the other. Any and all wires that connect units together or that plug in or anything that has to be plugged into the machine, it will be indicated where they connect. And it'll start like A to A, B to B, C to C, and so forth throughout the alphabet, which we never get through the alphabet. There aren't that many wires to connect, but the ones that you do have connected, it's important that we put them in the right place. Now, the first thing you do is you take tower A. This is the first tower, and you want to level it. Now, the conveyor's not on it yet. You just got it in from the shipper. Lay everything out like you're going to put it, get a general idea of where it's going to go. Now, as you can see here, we have a receptacle right here on the wall, and then we have another one over there. So we have the booklet maker and trimmer with the surge suppressor connected to this wall socket, and the surge suppressor for the back two towers are back there. So you can set up your electrical that way, or you can just put one receptacle. The cables that we provide with our surge suppressors are long enough to where you could plug both surge suppressors there and plug in your units. You don't want more than the booklet maker trimmer on one surge suppressor and the two towers on the other, okay? Don't try to run the whole system on one. It won't be able to handle it. Okay, so now you take the tower A, you get it in position, and then you have your leveling bolts down here. And these are your leveling discs. The leveling discs go underneath the leveling bolts, and from underneath here, you'll actually notice that they have double nuts on them. What that means is one nut is tightened against another so that you can actually unscrew it from underneath. So you don't technically have to take the covers off to level the machine. So the way we level it is what you do is you get a piece of chipboard or heavy paper stock, and you lift the unit up until your paper stock fits underneath the wheels so that your wheels are not touching the concrete. You don't want the wheels on the floor. You want them off the floor, but just very little. You don't have to raise it way up or anything. Just enough to get those wheels off the floor, okay? And then you level the tower, putting a level against this wall so that it's level this way, and then a level against the inside here so that it's level up and down. Now, level is not critical like on an offset press or some machines that have to be critical to so many thousandths of an inch. You just want it level, left to right, front to back. Okay, and by using the up frame here, you can measure up and down. Here you can measure left to right. Okay, so you get your first tower level, all four wheels off the ground, about the thickness of a piece of chipboard or heavy cover stock, and then you get the next tower and you line it up. And the first thing you do is you put your transfer conveyor, which is that one right there. The transfer conveyor has two pins on the end of it. They go into two holes in tower A. So the first thing you do is you mount the conveyor onto tower B with those screws right there. There's a screw on each side, a Phillips screw, and then you have a ground strap at the other side. If you can see it right in the middle of your screen, the ground strap goes connected to that side over there. So then when you get that connected, then you carefully bring tower B up to tower A, insert the transfer conveyor just like we show here, and then you put in the blocks just like you see them there. Open on the top, you slip them in. They slip in the two bolts on one side, and then you put the wing nuts on to tighten them down. Okay, and there you can see right here, you can see the thumb screw that holds the step on. Now, when you put the steps in, be sure you put the bolt in and tighten it, because we've had people get hurt. They step up on the step that comes with these, and because it's not bolted in, the step comes out from under them and ka-wham. So, avoid an accident, avoid injury. Go ahead and put the screw in there right away, bolt it down. Don't wait till tomorrow or later, but do it right away as soon as you put the step. Now, some people don't use the steps. Some people don't like them. They're optional. You can use them or not use them. It's up to you. Okay? So then once you get Tower B connected, you've got the conveyor going, and you got the blocks connected. Don't tighten anything until you level it. Get your level again, this way, left and right, and on the inside of the frame, whether the side of the frame back and forth, on the inside of the frame left to right. So get that tower level, then go ahead and tighten your blocks at the bottom. And of course, you level the back tower, same as the first. Get a piece of heavy stock. Now, if the back tower, depending on your floor, if it's a way off, like half an inch, you may need to compensate by jacking the back tower up some. But I mean, if you put a level down on your floor and it's pretty level, you don't have to worry about Tower B is a 1/4 of an inch lower or higher than Tower A. That's not going to matter. It's only going to matter if that difference is extreme, okay? And then after you get Tower B put in place, you go on the back side and you've got 2 connections over there. You've got a connection for the umbilical cord it connects it to, and then you have the power cable that hooks right there. You see it right there at the bottom? That's where your power cord hooks up, right there, okay? On both towers, and you get that connected. I don't plug anything in until I have everything hooked up, leveled, and put in place, because it's not a good idea to be messing with these towers when they're plugged in, because it's very easy to short something out or damage something, okay? All right, so now we've got both towers leveled, connected with our connector blocks. The cables are connected to the 2 wires on the other side. Now, on the other side of the tower, we're going to go over there for a minute. I'm going to show you that you've got two connections that the plugs can go to. Refer back to this video if you have to. But you see that cable right there, this one right here, that's your communication cable from Tower A to Tower B, okay? When you get the machine, the cable will be disconnected and wound up inside Tower A. So then you'll have to thread it through Tower A frame, Tower B frame, and then connect it to Tower B. And you see where it connects to Tower B. It connects on the right side. Unfortunately, there are 2 receptacles there that are exactly the same. The one on the left and the one on the right. We will mark on the frame where that wire goes, as I said before. All your cables and wires are marked with letters, so you won't make a mistake putting it back together, okay? So now this is your non-operator side. So then you got your umbilical cord, and then of course you've got your power cord. Now, after you get both towers set in place, they're leveled, the power's connected, then you come back here and you got your lift unit. The lift unit comes with a subframe underneath, as you can see there, and then the conveyor sits on top. The first thing you need to do is put your conveyor stand on with the 2 orange nuts that you see at the bottom down there, thumb screws. They got orange caps on them. Okay, those, you put that bottom frame in first, and then you take the conveyor, carefully set it in place. It has a cradle, and there's your bolts. If you can see them right there. These are the screws right there that connect it. Then you've got your ground strap. So you put the screws in on both sides. Then underneath here, underneath there, if you can see that, you've got pins that go into holes inside the bottom of that conveyor to line it up. Make sure that it's on there nice and flat and square with your support, okay? Then when that's in place, the next thing you want to do is you want to put the connector plate in, which you can see it down there. That's that silver plate that connects the lift unit to the booklet maker, okay? And after you put that one in, you get your leveling bolts and put them down. Again, we're going to do the same thing with the booklet maker we did with the collator. We're going to get it off the ground where you've got a thickness of chipboard underneath the wheels, where your wheels are off the ground. Okay, so once you do that, then you come up here to connect the trimmer. You've got that plate down there that connects the trimmer to the booklet maker. You can see that. It's a steel plate. Then that plate goes in. Then you level the trimmer the same way that you did with the booklet maker. Level it till the wheels are off the ground, okay? Now, don't worry about the conveyor, the delivery conveyor just yet. So right now, the way it stands is you have the booklet maker, the lift unit, which is that conveyor right there, the conveyor. That's the transfer conveyor. Then you've got the booklet maker and the trimmer, and they're all mechanically bolted together, okay? All right, now once you have that, now we're gonna come around the back side and we're gonna talk about our Cat 5 and Cat 6 connections. You see where that cable goes in position 1. Now it will be marked with a letter, a little tag on the wire, what letter it goes to, and that letter will be on your machine, so there'll be no mistaking where it goes. But I'm gonna show you on the video where they go. This is the trimmer, the bottom one. Position number 2 goes to the trimmer, position number 1. Position number 1 on the booklet maker goes to the collator, plugged in right down there, okay? So then you connect all your electrical connections. The cord to your booklet maker and the trimmer are hardwired in. So they'll be, coiled up and tie wrapped somewhere on the machine. Okay, so then after you get the trimmer, the booklet maker set in place, leveled. Now, we do want the booklet maker level. So you can put a level right here on top to level it this way. And again, you can put a level on the side to get the right to left. It depends on your floor. Like where this machine's located, this is a brand new building and a brand new floor. So, it's pretty level. So we don't have to worry that much about it. But some places, sometimes older buildings have settled over the years. And I've seen as much as 1.5 inches drop in this length. So you really don't tolerate that much. So if you have to put a block underneath, a leveling bolt, whatever it is you have to do to get the leveling bolts to be the machine where, you've got to level all the way through, okay? Then after you've got all that connected, don't worry about your delivery conveyor just yet. One of the things that's really important, and it's often overlooked, and I mean often overlooked, okay, is right here. Right here where the booklet maker connects with the delivery conveyor, okay? It's very important that they be aligned. In other words, the booklet maker, there's room for the booklet maker to be out of position left to right, this way, or up and down. It could be a little higher than the delivery conveyor, okay? That's important because you want the booklet to be delivered right into the nip point of the roller. Now, a nip point is the point where 2 round surfaces touch. So on the entry of the booklet maker, I'm gonna show you that, you've got that roller right there, that gray roller, rides on that steel roller, okay? Where those 2 connect or touch, that's the nip. And that's where the booklet's gonna go in, right there, all right? So when that booklet hits that nip, picture if it hits the top of the roller, if it hits the top roller, it'll make the set curl down. And that can cause the booklet to curl under and cause a jam. Or if it hits the bottom roller going in, it could cause it to turn up and then also cause a jam. So you want it to fit right in the center, right in the nip, okay? And once you get that adjusted, then after you run your first set through, you pay attention to where they are. Like, is your booklet coming in rubbing against this guide on the operator side or rubbing against the guide on the non-op side? Then you need to adjust the booklet maker accordingly. Now, when you get the machine will have a special block mounted to it. There's a plate under there. If you see that silver plate that's laying there right in between, that plate is a shipping plate. And what that does, it stops the booklet maker from going back and forth. So once you get it in place and you get it leveled, you need to remove that plate so that the booklet maker can move freely. Whatever you do, don't turn the power on or try to move this thing or run it with that plate in, okay? You could damage the driving mechanism because the booklet maker on a Duplo 5000 moves back and forth of different size booklets. For 11 by 17 or 14 by 20, the booklet maker is almost perfectly centered on the collator. For 11 by 17, it shifts over to the non-up side a little. 8.5 by 11 shifts over a little more. The idea is to have the center of the booklet running down the center of the booklet maker. So the machine will center itself to where the booklet comes in. So the booklet will, you want the booklet to come into the center of the booklet maker as closely as possible, okay? And so anyway, these things come in different levels of disassembly. You might have to assemble that bottom bracket depending on how we have to package it for shipping. We normally try to reduce the amount of assembly down to, a minimum, but also that's basically what you have to do sometimes when you dismantle them. Now, on the delivery conveyor is the last thing to go on, okay? You've got this unit here. This has to come off. You've got 2 screws holding it in place. And this will be off of here, and you'll have to slide this unit on and put the 2 screws in place that hold it in. And you'll have to mount this cover guard with those 2 screws, okay? The screws will be in there. Typically what we do is we leave the screws in and take off the component. That way you're not going around trying to figure out where are the screws, okay? The same thing goes for the kicker, the battery unit, this unit right here. You can see the battery unit is bolted on the conveyor. We take it off the conveyor and put it in a box. It just keeps things from getting damaged. Anything that we can do to prevent these machines from getting damaged, we will do it, period. And that's really the best move. Also on this unit here, these spools will be removed and your wire will be tied up, so you'll have to thread your stitch heads when you first get the machine in production. We've tried a lot of different things. We've tried leaving the spools on. We've tried leaving them. We've tried tying them on. We've tried all kinds of things. What ends up happening, they end up getting to wherever they're going to go with a spool all bird nest, wire everywhere. So we just decided to start taking them off. So you'll get the 2 brand new spools in the box of accessories that comes with your machine. So anyway, that's basically about it. It's pretty straightforward. The main thing that I try to tell everybody is please don't get in a hurry. You've got a job that has to be out by noon. Don't try to slap this thing together so you get the job out, because it's just going to cause you grief in the end. And that's what always happens. The machine comes in, they've got $10,000 worth of booklets to produce, and everything gets slapped together, and you're dealing with the problems the rest of the time you have the machine. We've gone in on it on service calls where we leveled the collators, realigned them, aligned the booklet maker, put the leveling disc down properly, and just go back through. The machine was bought brand new 3 or 4 years before. Whoever installed it just slapped it in there any old way, and here they fought all these problems, issues with jams and dog ears, and I mean just all kinds of problems, right? And when we get through with it, the machine just runs. You put book paper in it and they go, okay? And this is what happens. So if you take an entire day, 2 if needed, to go ahead and put this thing down, make sure everything is done carefully and double checked, okay? And actually, when we put the machines in, we've been installing these machines for decades, okay? So we have a system. We know exactly what to do. We know exactly how to do it. 2 men come in on an installation. It takes them half a day. We get there at 8:30 in the morning, and by noon, it's pretty much ready to go. So that's 4 hours that it takes for 2 well-trained, experienced people to put this thing together. So imagine getting the machine and maybe a technician from another company that maybe isn't as skilled or experienced. And it doesn't mean they're bad technicians. It's just that, technicians have different levels of experience. Some have worked on one collator. Some have gone to a school and never worked on one. Some have never installed a collator. I mean, we run into all of that nationwide. So just be cautious and take your time. That's why we do these videos, is to help our customers to get the best experience from their purchase. This video has been completed and done by LCE Graphics. You can reach us on the web at lcegraphics.com. You can call us at 352-799-8393. We sell and service Duplo, Horizon, and board collators worldwide. you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.